Hi, my name is Kathleen Karn. I'm the Executive Director of Newport Film. I am thrilled to be joined by Luke Lorentzen today. Luke is an Emmy Award-winning documentary filmmaker and a graduate of Stanford University's Department of Art and Art History. His most recent film, A Still Small Voice, premiered at the 2023 Sundance Film Festival, where it won the U.S. Documentary Best Director Award and has been shortlisted for the 2024 Best Documentary Oscar. His previous film, Midnight Family, has won over 35 awards from film festivals and organizations around the world, including a special jury award for cinematography at the Sundance Film Festival. Midnight Family was shortlisted for the 2020 Best Documentary Oscar and was a New York Times Critics' Pick. With Kellen Quinn, Luke is a co-founder of the independent production company Hedgehog Films. Welcome, Luke. Thank you so much for talking with me today. We're just so excited to screen A Still Small Voice.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, for showing the film.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And congratulations on the success of the film. It's such a beautiful and important documentary, and we're so grateful to be able to share it with Rhode Island audiences. So thanks for taking the time to dig in a little bit deeper.
Of course.
I'd love to, I think we're all really curious of how did you find Mati and the story of this film?
Yeah, the the real starting point was my sister Claire, who has done a lot of work as a hospital chaplain. When she was going through her residency, she was sharing with me what it was like, and that's really how I got interested in the topic. I don't come from a religious background, so I had my own judgments or sort of preconceived ideas of what chaplaincy was, and I needed Claire to sort of open the door a bit further to show me that it was actually really in line with things that I, as a filmmaker, care deeply about, building relationships, creating space for people to open up, and just a real belief in human connection and human storytelling as a very healing thing. And so from there, started reaching out to hospitals all around the United States, spoke with dozens, if not as many as 100 different
Yeah.
departments, and eventually found Mount Sinai. And the enthusiasm they had for it was pretty unparalleled. And they were really one of the few institutions that were willing to open their doors fully to me, to be
Right.
there for a full year of filming.
Wow.
And Mati was one of the residents in the program, and that's how I met her. She was initially pretty unsure of wanting to participate in the film, and it took months of being together and building a lot of trust to get to the place where we arrive in the film itself.
Yeah, because it's as you watch the film, there are moments where I'm like, wow, like everyone said yes to this, like in a way, because it's just so vulnerable. And so
Yeah.
it's a credit to you to be able to develop that trust with everyone engaging with the film. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and a credit to them for taking that leap of faith, that really showing the world uh, all sides of them is um, that they were up for it and understood the gift that that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you directed, shot, and edited this film. And so I watching it, I had a lot of, you know, thinking through how you were approaching these sacred and intimate spaces and shooting. I just wanted to learn a little bit, like getting under the hood of what that experience
Mhm.
was like.
Um, I was on site at Mount Sinai for about 150 shoot days over the course of 9 months, and really felt like I was going through this residency alongside Mati and really learning an enormous amount about spiritual care, um, and embedding all of that learning into the making of the film itself. Um, Sort of a long way of saying that I really lived the story.
Okay.
Really felt all of the feelings that that are in there, and sort of needed to go through that in order for the film to feel complete. Um, I I discovered with Mati these, again, really clean parallels between what she as a chaplain was hoping to give patients and what the camera was also able to deliver, which is this sort of sense of making people feel seen, paid attention to, that their story matters. And we together sort of found this pretty unusual collaboration that with certain patients led to these very, very meaningful sessions together.
Oh, and yeah, it shows tremendously. And I suspect that this film had I mean, I wasn't planning on asking you this, but just as you
Mhm.
explained, 150 days, I mean, you essentially sound like you were going through the chaplaincy training effectively. I mean, how did it change you as a filmmaker, I wonder, or did it?
Changed me enormously. It I get this question a lot, and I don't think I know yet
You're like,
fully. It
you're not
all
sure,
feels
right?
so sort of recent, but I think it's an experience that has really gotten to the sort of core of me as a filmmaker and just as a person. I think I learned a lot about how um, to more clearly see and feel and how to more honestly relate to people. Chaplains have these really practical toolkits that they use to sort of enter relationships with patients that apply far and wide outside of the hospital. And I really carried those with me, both in work and just my personal life. I think it's also it sort of yeah has made me a much more sensitive person. I think having the privilege of experiencing these big turning points in people's lives um, in such a compressed time period, like there is a sensitivity that I think has come as the result of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, what what do you hope the audience takes away from this film?
I I think one of one of the things that I love most about the film is that people have been able to see themselves in different bits and pieces of Mati, David, or the patients and feel joined or feel in community with other people navigating really hard stuff. And I hope that there is a sense of catharsis or a sense of um, community or just an opening to let those feelings be okay and human. Um, and everything from HR workers to chaplains to, people with kids, like just the whole range of relationships that exist. I hope that the film sort of touches on them and helps people see them more clearly or more with more compassion.
I I think it does, from my
Thanks.
standpoint. I mean, I saw it at Sundance last year, and then I rewatched it. Uh,
Hmm.
Having that length of time and the breadth of life experiences that I've had between now and January and rewatching it again, it was definitely, immersing me in different spaces and joining me different spaces. So it definitely is I think, like a living film in that way.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
it's just really beautiful, and, I'm just so honored that we're able to bring it to Rhode Island and to Newport Film, so thank
The
you so
honor is mine. Yeah, it really means a lot that you all are getting people out to watch it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, Luke, anytime we can have you, here in Newport, we look for that opportunity, so thank you so much for joining me today
Yeah.
and for the film, and good luck. Oh, and I wanted to ask you, sorry, I got so wrapped in the film, as you should, but do you have anything coming up? Anything that you'd like to share with us?
I I really don't at the moment, and I think that is maybe one of the other big learnings of making this film is just wanting to slow down a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
And I I plan to sort of start moving a few ideas around, but without too much urgency, which feels really nice.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, like slowing down to hear the still small voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Moment, powerful moment in the film.
Yeah.
Uh, Thank you, Luke. And thank you, everyone. And please check out newportfilm.com for the latest schedule of wonderful documentary films that we screen in Newport and Rhode Island. Take care.